Have you ever woke up and wondered what was wrong with you? You knew you wanted to be elsewhere, that there was more to life than the life you were living, more than the bills you were paying, the job you were keeping. Look to the horizon, to the sunsets. Your answer is there. Put your feet on the ground and take a deep breath and step into the nomadic lifestyle. You will not regret it. Oh, good Lord. It's so hot here today. It's kicking my ass. Just saying. So anyway, yep, same clothes, same do-rag, same day. I was in the kitchen. I made you guys two videos. The first one is bulletproof coffee. I finished mine. Let me talk about that real quick. It's important, you guys, to have healthy fats in your diet. It's proven that healthy fats kill cancer, unclog your arteries, bring down your blood pressure. It's just make your hair healthy, your nails healthy, your skin healthy. It doesn't hurt you to have healthy oil in your diet. And I'm not talking vegetable oil or Canadian oil or any of that garbage. I'm talking healthy oils. In the next two videos, the first video is going to be about bulletproof coffee. I have one every morning and usually one every night about 7. Now, I'm going to warn you that this coffee will give you about 6 hours of amazing energy. So if you do drink a cup at night, yeah, make sure you got 6 hours before bedtime. 2, it will take away your hunger. Totally. When I have my morning coffee, I don't even get hungry until at least 5 hours later. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta eat. In the evening, the same thing. You won't be snacking. It is delicious. I know some people say it sounds gross, but when you see me make it, I gotta tell you, you won't be using creamer anymore for your morning coffee if you have just 1 cup. And it's actually a healthy alternative to eating a breakfast. And my second video is about flaxseed bread. I don't buy my bread in the stores, you guys. I have a really hard time. Both of these recipes are ketogenic safe. They're great for people who have diabetes. And if you're like me and you have a clogged duct in your pancreas, that means you have a hard time breaking down sugars and carbs. These two recipes are perfect. Or if you're on a regular diet and you just don't like buying your bread in the store. Now, I'm not real fond, and I tell you this in the videos, of almond flour and or coconut flour. I do not like the taste of them. But I have to say that the flaxseed comes out tasting like a nice, hearty wheat flour. And if you like wheat flour, bingo. If you like a sweet wheat flour, add a couple drops of sweetener in there. You can add cinnamon in there and have cinnamon bread. This is what they come out looking like. You'll see them on the video. This is how I store them in the refrigerator, you guys. I can never eat a whole one of these for breakfast. I will actually cut one of these in half and toast it and have 2 halves for breakfast. They make amazing hamburger buns. And again, you can make cinnamon bread. You can make cinnamon bread. If you want like your bread a little sweeter, again, add a non-sugar sweetener. Or if you're on a regular diet, add some sugar or honey. It's up to you. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the 2 videos that are going to follow. I hope this helps explain a little bit. I was going to add a 3rd video where I make what they call a Big Mac keto salad. It's delicious, you guys. But the fact is, I've already made up my hamburger meat with cheese, and I've already made up the special sauce. So on another day when I'm making a fresh batch, I'll do a video of that. I hope you all have a great day. Remember to love yourself, because if you don't love you, nobody's going to love you. Peace out. Enjoy the videos. Welcome to my kitchen. Yep, we're making bulletproof coffee today. You guys, I'm going to do the best I can in getting a nice clear shot. Can you see me? Anyhow, this is how I make bulletproof coffee. So, your ingredients are going to be fresh coffee. You can see this. Fresh coffee. Some people, you guys, use a coffee press. I make it in here, I just make it a tad bit stronger. Just saying. Let me move this a hair so you can see. Okay, you can use a blender, a hand blender. I use a hand blender. Yeah, pretty easy. If you don't have MCT oil, you can use a teaspoon of coconut oil. Okay? You don't have to have this stuff. It's expensive, trust me. You can use any kind of sweetener you want. And then sometimes I use an imitation flavor. You guys want to get an imitation because I want to tell you, on the back in the ingredients, they don't use sugar. And a lot of your real flavors, they use sugar. So always read the ingredients on anything you're going to use, especially if you're on ketos. And with that being said, I got to get a knife. Again, if you are not using MCT oil, and if you are, start out slow, you will get diarrhea. It's like somebody once said, don't trust a ketos fart. I agree. So what you want is, if you don't have MCT oil, you want to put in 1 teaspoon of organic coconut oil. Okay? I put in, when I'm using MCT oil, real butter, and I put in 2 teaspoons. MCT oil, you should measure this stuff, guys, but I don't. I use a squirt of MCT oil. And today, I am going to add a Sweeten loaf. You know what? I think I'll add this one. The sweet drops. No carbs. No sugars. That should do. And we're going to add a tad bit of vanilla and butternut flavor. Oh, you should smell it, you guys. Amazing. Okay. Now, don't add your full cup of coffee to this container. Just add enough to get it whipped, because you will get it all over. If you're using a hand blender, add about that much. A little more. When I first made this, I had it everywhere, all over me, all over the kitchen. Just was not a pretty sight. My hand blender. Yep, living in an RV. Unplug stuff so you don't throw a breaker. Now guys, you don't need any cream in this, and I know that butter and oil in your coffee may not sound good, but this stuff tastes amazing. It tastes better than any creamer you'll ever use. And we're going to start down here in the sink because, like I said, I'm notorious for getting this all over me. But what I was saying is, you don't need any creamer, and you're going to see why. Let me get a cup down here so we get the blending. There we go. This comes out frothy and creamy, just like you had a... Right? Okay, I can bring it up here and try and behave myself. You want to just blend the hell out of it. See the froth on top? Doesn't it look delicious? I cannot tell you how amazing this smells. I wish they had vision smell, right? So anyway, what I do is I pour that into my cup. I know, right? Can you believe that that's butter? And then what I do to finish filling my cup is I pour a little coffee in here, swirl it around, and finish topping off my coffee. Now, have you ever seen anything so delicious? If you drink one of these in the morning, one of these different, look at the froth, you guys. It's just like something from a Starbucks. You don't need no cream in it. You don't need anything in this, and it stays blended and mixed. It doesn't turn to butter or oil on top. 1 cup of this in the morning will curb your appetite for 6 hours, and I'm not kidding. I usually have 1 cup in the morning, and then in the afternoon I have my meal, and then in the evening I'll have another cup. You got to remember, if you drink this in the evening, you're going to have 5 to 6 hours of energy. Just saying. You will not get hungry on this. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this recipe. I'll also be doing a recipe on this video that has to do with mug bread out of flaxseed. And I might just throw in a bonus video of Big Mac. Today we're making my favorite flax seed meal bread. I buy all my bread at home. As promised, I start out with a tablespoon of cream cheese. It's soft, and what I'm doing is I'm rubbing it around a warm bowl because I want this to melt a little bit so that I can easily blend it into my batter. I don't want to have to nuke it, but I will. You want a tablespoon of cream cheese, approximately. You want a tablespoon of melted butter on top of that. God, I always drop stuff, you guys, right? I'm just so messy in the kitchen sometimes. So anyway, what I'll do is mix that up a little bit. This is my bowl that I use, and I use it for a reason. I get bigger bread that I can use for toast, or I can use for hamburger buns, or about anything. So anyway, get that mixed up. You're going to add 1 large egg. By the way, recipes for everything that I put on this video today will be linked down below. And you're going to beat all that together. And again, you want to kind of incorporate that cream cheese as much as you can in with the egg and the butter. And if you don't get it all off the bottom, or there's little chunks, don't worry, you guys. You're going to be mixing in some other stuff that'll help break down that cream cheese. Can you see? Oh, God, I hope so. So anyway, so after we have the egg, we're going to set that there. We're going to add a pinch of salt. You guys, don't use table salt. Either use Celtic Gray. That's what I'm using today. A pinch. Either use Celtic Gray or Pink Himalayan. It's the best thing for you. Give that a mix. Now I'll even take one of these. You guys will love this bread, especially if you like wheat bread. You know, you guys, I don't like the taste of coconut flour. I really dislike the taste of almond flour. And the fact is they both have tons of carbs. So if you're diabetic, or you're like me and you have a blocked pancreas duct, the last thing you want is to have that in your food. Anyway, the next thing we're going to add, today I'm using flaxseed meal bread. Sometimes I use dark flaxseed milk, sometimes I use light. We're going to put in 4 tablespoons. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we're going to mix that again. Can't see when I'm recording, guys. I really pray this is coming out. So I kind of mix it against the bowl. If you were ever one of those kids that had to sit there and stir the cake mix for 50 turns, you know what I'm talking about. Before they had hand blenders. Okay, I'm going to show you what this looks like now that it's good and blended. If you see, the cream cheese has all been blended in. Can you see that? That's what you want it to look like. Now, next is a trick of mine, you guys, to get bread texture in this. I scrape the bowl. And then I take and I add 1/2 teaspoon, a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. And I mix that in. And you want to do it like this because the next ingredient will actually make this rise. Yeah, believe it or not. So get it good and mixed in. See how I got that? And it's going to thicken up a tad. That's okay. At that point, I'll again scrape everything. See there. I scrape my bowl. I bring everything to the middle. Because here comes the secret ingredient. You want to add about a 1/4 teaspoon of white vinegar. It makes that baking soda rise. And it rises fast, guys, so get the mixing. You will see it rise as you're stirring it in. It is beautiful. So now, we just let that rise for a second while we scrape off stuff. And it will rise up, guys. I'll show you in a minute. You get actually very fluffy bread out of this. I usually make 3 batches at a time. I've never doubled it because the fact is I don't want it to ruin. I now, in my microwave, this size bowl, I nuke this for 1.5 minutes. Try and get my AC to shut off because it'll blow a breaker. Okay. 1.5 minutes. And while that's cooking, these are the breads I have just done. If you'll look at this, it's got air pockets. I slice it in half when it comes out. And to tell you the truth, let's give this a taste. Delicious. It tastes just like wheat bread. And it's not eggy. The reason I add a little bit of cream cheese, you guys, is sometimes your keto spread and your non-wheat breads, you got to use a lot of egg in. And what happens is it ends up tasting like egg. And the last thing you want is a hamburger that tastes like egg. So I do add I do add, the cream cheese simply to take away from the eggy taste, and it gives it a softer flavor, a more mild flavor, I guess. Now when you take these out of the oven, beware, those bowls are hot. And I use this bowl for nothing but bread. Nothing but. Okay. So we went to, where's my knife? Oh, I'm so unorganized half the time. Anyway, take your knife, go around your bread, and I actually give it a lift, and then I drop it out. There's your bread. Okay. After this cools a few minutes, you want to take a knife, you see me, and simply cut it in half, and then you'll have the two pieces. Ow, ow, ow. See how the top looks? Anyway, this is an amazing bread. It is a no-carb bread. All the carbs from your flaxseed is actually fiber, so it zeroes it out as net carbs. This bread has no carbs. None. Not a zip. So if you are a diabetic or on a keto diet, or like me, hate buying store-bought bread, this takes me probably 15 minutes about every 3 days. Ow, ow, hot. This does store in the refrigerator, you guys. I'll show you. I store it in one of these after they are totally cooled off, because these are very hot right now. I didn't get that too straight. See how nice and spongy that is? Anyway, these will store for 3 to 5 days in your refrigerator in a baggie. They toast up really well. They're good with butter on them. They're good as toast. You can put a little peanut butter on there. Anything that your diet allows you to have, whether you're on a regular diet or a restricted diet. These are amazing bread. They're all natural. They're made in your kitchen, nobody else's. Enjoy and have a great day. By the way, you can make these in a toaster oven. Just have a toaster safe container. Anyhow, all the recipes that I do on this video will be listed down below in the description. Have a great day. Remember to love yourself, because if you don't love you, nobody's going to love you.